today. So Jay's going to get his hooks in and we're going to start off in this position. He's got his seatbelt position, so he's got one arm over, one arm under. Okay, when we're in back fence, and sometimes it seems a bit noddy saying it, but the real threat that I've got is this arm that's over the top. That's the one that's going to finish me, that's the one that's going to choke me. So I'm always trying to control that top arm. Okay, so the top arm's my priority. The bottom arm's great, toes are good, you can kind of do all this sort of stuff and bite his toes and all that kind of thing. But it doesn't mean shit if I do this and he's throttling me. Okay, because he only needs to kind of strangle me for about 10 seconds and then I pass out. Alright, so first things first, always control the top arm. Okay. The next thing is which is power side, which is weak side for Jason. So if Jason falls to this side, or I take Jason to this side, this is his power side, okay? Because from here it's a lot easier for him to start switching to control this arm, to eventually go into a 2-on-1 situation where I've got one hand defending two hands, which never really works out very well. Okay, so I'm always trying to fall to the underhook side. The underhook side is my power side. Okay, it's his weak side. Okay, so as I fall, I'm gonna try and always fall, and you fall over the arm, but it's not to fall to control the bottom arm, it's just to fall on top of it, because our priority again is always the top arm. Okay, so from his position, the first one we're going to look at is the baseball bat control. Okay, so I'm going to grip the hand and keep it super tight, but I actually pull the hand down. Okay, so it's like I'm trying to separate his arm from his shoulder. I'm not gonna, but that's the kind of deal. Then from this position, yeah, I'm gonna take the arm across my head, but I'm gonna turtle my head. Keep my head up nice and high, I just end up kind of hitting my own head and creating a bigger thing to get around. So I'm gonna turtle my head, shrug my shoulders so the arm goes up a little higher, and then pass it across and keep my ear on the back of the arm. Yeah, now I get my head and elongate my neck a little bit, just so it's not as easy for him to go back into the same position. So he's got the grip, so control, baseball bat, over the top, okay? And we're just gonna get to there first of all. So he gets his control that top part, fall to my power side, so Jason's weak side. Okay, control the arm with baseball bat grip, so I grip kind of where the fist and the wrist meet, because I get a nice grip on there. I tuck my chin in and shrug my shoulders like, no, okay? And then take the arm across and then look up, okay? So that's a start of kind of escaping that position. You have to say, no. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. So sometimes we can't break that grip. Okay, they're so tight, they're nice and close in, I can't break that grip. There is a bit of a patience thing to this, yeah, where I'm not winning. I'm definitely not winning in this position. So I have to be really careful, my movements have to be precise and calculated, because if I just start grabbing the toes, he's going to start strangling me. If I start trying to force it and the hand slips, he's strangling me. Okay, all that kind of stuff are things that we have to prevent, so I'm always keeping this nice and tight. So if you go super tight, there we go. Yeah, I know that with Jay, this is definitely a patience game. So I might have a quick look at the clock and go, fuck, I've got 5 minutes of this. And sometimes it is 5 minutes of it, yeah. But I'm defending my throat and I'm making sure I'm not getting choked. It does help once you get to here to fall to that side, because there are other things which we can start doing. Okay, but this sometimes works where you shrug your shoulder, even though he's got the grip, and then force both arms across. Doesn't always work. Okay, so I'm not going to say this is gold, this will get you out of the position. If he's keeping that grip, I'm keeping my control so that he can't throttle me. Okay? So, we'll have a look at that scenario. Okay, but hopefully we get in a situation where we can do this and take the arm across because he's broken the grip. Remember, his goal is to strangle me, so at some point he's going to be trying to control this at wrist and then into here, and then we're doing all this kind of thing. So there are some gaps. Okay, see when the hand went loose, my chin went down. Okay, there's no point doing that, giving him a big opportunity to go to the throat. So I'm always shrugging, but I'm also dropping my chin down. So if it does slip, he's got some work to do, okay? Sometimes it means he's face barring and doing all that kind of thing. Unfortunately, this is one of these positions we have to make a decision. You know, do we want to fall asleep or do we want a modelling career? Okay, so here I'm keeping my chin down to the mat. So I've fallen, and for whatever reason I cannot clear that grip, okay? What other options have we got? What could we do to try and get out of this position if this grip isn't going?
Right, can you get your hips turned and turn into him?
Yeah. Okay, so I could try and turn into him. That could go pretty bad depending on what we're doing with the head, which we'll talk about in a second.
Can you turn the other way?
Turn this way to his power side. Yeah. Oh, that way.
That way.
Yeah, potentially, but I might end up face down with him on my back. Okay, so there are options. Yeah, but there's an easier option maybe.
You can clear a leg, you can keep one eye.
Clear a leg. So let's get our legs involved now. So if we're here and we're stuck, yeah, we can start trying to clear hooks to then sit on top of the legs. Okay, so the hooks are what is keeping control of my bottom part of my body. The seat belt keeps control of the top part of the body. Okay, so we've decided the seat belt's pretty stuck in there, we're not moving. So I'm going to try and clear a hook. It's always easier to clear the bottom hook, I think. Okay, so the top hook is one of these where it kind of follows a little bit and it's a little harder to clear, but the bottom hook tends to be a little bit easier, and that's because we can put some pressure on the thigh, which is what we've done because we've fallen the correct side. So yeah, to here, you keep it, that's it. So he tries to keep that hook, bringing that knee into the gap. Okay, and then from here, sit on top of the leg, and now we start trying to get out and go into this position. Okay, so let's just have a go at that. Try and clear that bottom hook, the side that we've fallen, and then start sitting our ass out eventually. Okay, keep that seatbelt nice and tight so it's all bottom that's doing the work. Okay, give it a go. 1, 2, 3. We'll learn how to get into a better position, haven't we? We've kind of ended up with them maybe still in the seatbelt position. Yeah. For me, I only sort of turn it one way. Okay, so say for example, yeah, we've done this, he's still got his grip, but I've been able to get that knee through, clear my hip, get onto the outside. Even if this hook's here, yeah, it can be quite easy to clear just by taking the elbow on the inside and just dropping the leg to clear the hook. Now, if I start turning this way and he's got a really good grip and a really good seatbelt position, he can actually follow me because he's got his chest on my back. And we think about back control in percentages, he's still about 70% of his chest is on my back. So as I start trying to turn this way, he actually starts following me and we end up in the same sort of position. Okay, so my preference, and there's a couple of different ways, depends how old and flexible you are sometimes. Yeah, you can hand on the inside and start looking to scramble on top. Okay. The pressure of the shoulder sometimes gets people to kind of open the hands. I'll be happy to go around and show you. My preference is this. Yeah, so I take my elbow over the top and I put my weight into this position. Okay, so we end up in what's called a reverse keze. We call it bubba. Okay, because you're just on the couch, at home, watching TV. Okay, so like from here. We always have to be careful of this arm because this arm's still a threat. Because it's still across my face, okay? So from here, you might go whack and start kind of, you know, smashing me. So I'm always controlling that arm until I get the break, and then I end up in a Kimura position, okay? So I want the least dynamic escape you've ever done in your life in any position, and if it's very undynamic in home life as well, that makes me very happy, okay? So everything at this point, dealing with threats, clearing hooks, seeing a light, okay, hip out to the other side, and then I take the weight and drop the elbow on the other side, okay, into the bubba position. So I'll just give that a quick go and see how you get on. Again, all the power side and performing the correct side is really important, okay, so we're still controlling the top arm, but if we follow the correct side and I end up in this, in my stronger side, okay, I can also start using my head and my shoulders to start clearing the position as well. Okay, we both should be fighting for our head to be on the bottom, okay? Because from this position, it's really easy for Jason to get that rear naked choke, okay? If I get my head to the bottom and I look into his chin, even if the arm slips out, it's really hard to get a good effective choke because of where we are. And it goes back to back percentages, okay? So if we sit this way, Jake. So, Jack. I call him Jack for no. Jason has got 100% back control, okay? Because his chest is flush to my back, okay? So, I'm controlling. I'm going to try and get my head to the outside straight away without headbutting him. Sorry, yeah, look up. And now he's probably about 80%, okay? So I'm going to use my shoulders to start trying to clear, how much of the back he's controlling. Okay, and I'm always looking up and making sure he can't look in. I'm certainly making sure he can't get his head below mine. Okay, and then I'm just going to try and get more back on, and then we end up in this position again. It's never clean because you've got the hooks and stuff like that, but it certainly prevents that choke. Okay, so one more time. So no baseball bat this time, but I've got control of that top part. Yeah, I fall to my strong side, but I try and drop my head and start looking in. And then for me, it's all about trying to get you back to the mat. Okay. This one I think is a harder one because there's no clear out. You know, you're kind of scraping your back against the mat. You're making sure your head's looking into the rear so they can't get that bottom position. So this one feels a little grindier and a little more horrible, but it is effective and it does work. So let's give that a go. All right, 1, 2, 3.